name, where you came from, and what God the Brother Fire has done for you.
City of power. City of power. Please, let's stand up and celebrate grace. To celebrate the grace of my father. My names are Moma Faith. I reside here in Agbo. It all started last year in the month of February. I have a chemist store, and the law that government gave to all chemists and pharmacy that we are not to open close to each other. So in that month of February last year, I was so surprised, and I saw a chemist store at the front of my own shop, directly opposite my store. So I quickly went to the union, the executive. I told them that there's a chemist at the front of my shop. So they were surprised, and they rushed down there, and they told the man that if he did not see a chemist, that he should park away from there, that he cannot plant a chemist store at the front of another chemist store. So the man refused, and he said he is not leaving, that he is going to do his business there. So the union, they have to report to Asaba, Federal Secretariat. They went there, they told them, Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, that there is a chemist that opened in front of another chemist, of which they promised that they are coming. So we waited for a very long time, from that month of February to December, on the 8th of December. So that was when they now came. So when they came, the measurements they gave to us was 200 meters away from other shop. So when they came, they measured, and it was just 65 point something. So it was not even half. So they now left. 2 days later, the chairman now called me on phone, and he said, my daughter, come. He said, there is a big problem. He said, we are happy that the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, that they have come to measure your shop and the shop of that man. He said, we are so surprised that instead of them to tell that man to park away from there, he said, they said you are the one that must leave that place for that man to continue his business. So I was so bitter that very day. And I cried throughout the night. I did not even sleep for 10 minutes that day. I cried throughout the night. I was very bitter. That how will I live for somebody that came to look for trouble? How will I leave my shop for that person to start selling them? So, of which I started praying. I did even dried fasting. I prayed, and I did not tell anybody about this whole issue. Even my own brothers and sisters. I just told them that there is a chemist shop, but I didn't tell them the main thing that was on ground then. So they started battling the issue. Sometimes the union, they will go to Asaba, they will go there and beg them that this girl cannot leave. If the main man that was in charge of that case, he was the one that said, I must be the one to leave that location. Then the other one was like, they say this other person, I can't find trouble. He said, how are we going to tell this guy to park away from here? He said it's not his business, that I must park away from that place. So after everything, it was now, that was the next Sunday. So I booked for a prayer line for my younger brother. So when Papa called me out, he was praying for my younger brother. So he started praying for me also, and the spirit, I manifested, and the spirit inside me started saying things, how this man and the mother killed goats in my shop, poured the blood of the goat inside my shop, and carried that same goat to Orogodo River. And how they also opened the stomach of fowl and poured dross inside the stomach of that fowl and sealed it and gave it to a woman. It was after service, my store neighbor, she was the one telling me everything that happened that very day. And that very day, I was so surprised, because honestly, I never knew that this issue has gone into something else. Then, that very day, after Papa has finished praying, he now gave me this mantle. He gave me this mantle. He now asked me to put this mantle inside water. He said I should put this mantle inside water, and I should sprinkle the water in my shop. So, of which immediately we closed from church that day, I did exactly what Papa instructed. So, I started praying, I continued praying. Then, for a long time, we've not heard from Pharmacy Council of Nigeria anymore. So, my license expired on the 31st of December. So, others are renewing their license, but me, I cannot renew my own because of this issue that was still on ground. So, the chairman now said, on Saturday, last week Saturday, he now called me. He now said I should get ready, that we should go and try again. That we are going to Asaba on Monday, that we should go there and try. So I told him, okay. So they now told me everything that I will say when we get to Asaba. So that morning when I woke up, and I said, since this one has turned to a spiritual battle, that I should not just go to Asaba like that without informing Papa. So I took my phone and I texted Papa that, Papa, that they said I should come to Asaba, that still on that issue, that I'll be going to Asaba that morning. So Papa now replied me immediately. He said, okay, no problem. So we now left for Asaba that very day. So when we got to Asaba, the chairman now said I should come so that I will go and explain to them again. Honestly, I was really, really scared. I could not enter that office. I did not follow the chairman to the office. So he decided to go alone in that office. So when he got there, even when he was inside the office, my heart was beating so fast. I was so scared because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I don't want to leave that location. So the chairman has to, since I was afraid to go into the office, he decided to change the whole story. He has to explain everything to them on his own. So when they came out, the man now said it's a lie, that they should go to admin office, that they should go there to confirm if what the chairman is saying is true or not. So immediately...
Jam those hands for Jesus. Somebody, are you celebrating grace in this house? Are you celebrating the grace of God upon City of Power? Okay, you said why you get to Asaba and your chairman went to the office. Okay, at the end of the day, what happened? How did it go?
So as he went to the office, the man now said, the admin now said, yes, that is true. I'm the first person to be in that location, and I have my credentials, I have my license, everything is up to date. So he now said, okay, that he has heard. Then he now brought out a recommendation letter. So he started writing. He now wrote that now, the one that refused, that said nobody will tell him what to do, that I must leave that location. It was now that same man that collected my recommendation letter. He started writing that I'm now the rightful owner of that location.
Are you jamming those hands for Jesus? Are you celebrating grace in this house? Somebody holla grace. Jam those hands for Jesus, somebody. Tell us.
To the extent that even the things that I was not even qualified for, I was so surprised. Even the chairman was so surprised. This man started writing that I'm qualified for everything. He now gave the recommendation letter to us. They now asked me to go and renew my license. After everything, they now gave me the paper for the location. And they now told me that I'm not leaving again, that the man that opened in front of me, that is the one that will leave for me to stay.
Jam those hands for Jesus. Somebody celebrate grace in this house. You mean the man that stood on his ground and said, you must leave? He's the same person that wrote a recommendation.
Yes,
This time
ma'am.
around, he even promoted you.
Yes,
From the
ma'am.
things you are not licensed to sell before.
Yes,
Now he
ma'am.
even promoted you.
Yes,
Somebody jam those hands for Jesus. Celebrate the God of this great commission. Jam those hands for Jesus. Okay, tell us, what advice do you have for the viewers and the congregation?
The advice I have is for the viewers and the congregation. Do not allow anyone to deceive you to leave the place of grace, this great commission. Because it happened last year. A woman, she's a pastor. She now told me that she now asked me the name of my church. I told her. She now said that God did not ask me to worship in this church, that I should leave the church. Even another pastor, one man in Agbobi, also said the same thing. Then after, the day I came back from Asaba, I called my son neighbor and I was telling her, I said, you can imagine, see the church when that pastor say, make I come out. Imagine, say God not send me, make I come worship for them. Now see that the same God, the same church, 9 gods, they do this kind of miracle for me. So I'm begging everybody, do not allow anyone to deceive you. I've experienced it, they have deceived me times without number. Do not allow anyone to deceive you, to leave your place of grace, your place of solution.
Jam those hands for Jesus. Are you hearing that, somebody? Say, neighbor, a word is enough for the wise. Jam those hands for Jesus. Celebrate the grace of God upon your father. Sister, we celebrate with you, and we pray that our testimony remain permanent in Jesus.
If you are blessed with this message, please subscribe to our YouTube and click the notification bells for more videos. YouTube, Prophetic Fire TV. Facebook, Prophet B.F. Joshua Ministry.